What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris bringing you more games in the Starseries Season 3. I did a little bit of a check for, first of all, where I am in the tournament and when the new patch hits the tournament. And after this game, there's only 2 more left of the old patch. So I'm very excited for that. I skipped through a little bit more of this because it was just Rubik, Leshrac, and TA. You know, it's really boring shit. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into the new patch. This one is going to be between Dare and Absolute Legends. We do have Dare on the Radiant, AL on Dire, and Dare are going to go with a very heavy support lineup right off the bat. AL, they kind of have a similar thing going. They have a mid lane and a TA, which could go up against that Rubik, should Dare decide to lane the Rubik there as opposed to a support hero. But AL, they do have a little bit more damage coming out of them just right off the bat because they do have the Leshrac plus TA, so there's a lot of damage coming out of those 2 heroes immediately. And AL, they have a lot of minus armor as well. Combined with the fact that they are on the Dire side, it could make for an easier Roshan a little bit down the road with the Meld, Gush, and then of course the Diabolic Edict, which does bonus damage to things that have low armor. It's just like, you know, like physical hits. We have more bans coming out. Dare are going to ban out the Lone Druid, makes sense. You don't want AL to have that TA's semi-carry into a, you know, full carry. But AL, I mean, they surprisingly banned out Anti-Mage, which is the only weird thing so far in this game, really. Anti-Mage hasn't really been in that top ban spot since, like, right after TI 1. I guess AL simply do not want to play against him. They would be just fine keeping this TA as the only carry. And the Venomancer ban from Absolute Legends is actually fairly surprising, because between the Enchantress, Rubik, and Windrunner, that's a lot of support right there. They could go for yet another support and then have the Windrunner and Rubik kind of be farming intelligence heroes. And then, you know, have a Venomancer and Faces Void or something on the bot lane. Final bans are out. 2 jungling heroes, Enigma as well as Nature's Prophet. I don't really think Dare wanted to get that Enigma. AL's bans seem a little bit weird to me. I already explained the Venomancer, but Enigma as well. I mean, you have Enchantress in the jungle. You have a Rubik either to support or solo a mid lane. You have Windrunner to go into the long lane. Why do you need Enigma? Why would your enemies want Enigma? I feel like they would have gotten a little bit more mileage out of that ban if they decided to get rid of something that is a little bit more hard carry-like. Something like a Morphling. Looks like they're instead going to go for the Juggernaut. I don't think Absolute Legends could have predicted that pick as the carry, because it's pretty hard to predict a Juggernaut. He's like, I don't know, he's not really consistent. But he shows up from time to time. In AL, they're going to pick up a Wisp. So they're going to have most likely a additional carry hero who's going to be farming on their team. Wisp, Leshrac is a decent combo, but both of them are very, very fragile. Wisp has 0 base armor, and Leshrac and Wisp really don't have much health. Although they could put out a lot of damage, and a tether stun, if you somehow land it, could set up for a split earth that's guaranteed to hit. It's a very delicate relocation combo, because if you relocate somewhere like right next to a Juggernaut, then Omni Slash will kill you. There's really no question about that. But they're just shoring up their farm right now, and they're gonna go with the Brewmaster. So it looks like Rubik is going to be supporting. Brewmaster's a hero who excels with a little bit more farm and a little more experience, so they're going to have the first 3 picks of theirs be the ones who are really sacrificing their farm, and then these 2 are really going to be the ones picking it up, and then hopefully rolling into the late game. They have a lot of front line, some pretty good counter ravage right there. Brewmaster is a little bit difficult to gank with the relocate as well. You get to split out and run. Juggernaut is also fairly difficult to do. It's fairly difficult to do that to the Juggernaut as well, because he has so many tools to get himself out of that mess. Let's see what AL are going to go for. They could run a Wisp TA combo and then get something like it, or they could run a Wisp Tiny or Wisp CK. Both of those heroes are still in the pool, and then have the TA just, you know, shut down the early stage of the game as much as they can. That would give them a very, very solid mid to mid-late lineup if they do choose to get another one of those heroes. Of course, they could go for just another support pick, and then have the TA be the main source of damage come late game. And TA is pretty good against Juggernaut. The spin is, of course, one of the best things to get rid of that refraction. But if you could block a single slash of Omni Slash, well, then refraction is pretty much already worth it. I mean, they have some pretty worthwhile things to block. Fade Bolt, Power Shot, the Brewmaster Clap. Even a single impetus shot from the Enchantress does a lot of damage, so TA should have a decent time to carry, although against the Juggernaut when they go toe-to-toe, it's always going to be very close. Juggernaut does have that crit, but then again, TA has that refraction, so it's really when the crits hit and when the refractions go up. Now AO, they're taking their sweet time. I do believe a CK would work very well for their lineup. Get another guaranteed stun, or they could go for Tiny. Fair enough. Now they're probably going to have, well, I actually don't know, but probably Tiny is going to be the main farmer. He's going to be the quote-unquote carry hero. That's really what you see most of the time when Tiny is picked up. I personally like it a little bit more when Tiny takes a little bit more of an early active role, which usually you do see from Wisp Tiny. But when you do have a Wisp, Tiny, Wisp, and a Templar Assassin, then things get a little bit odd. Regardless, they're going to have a lot of damage late game. A lot of high physical damage. Let's see who's going to play what. Mania's going to be playing Leshrac. Come with me on the Wisp. Freezer is going to be captaining that Tidehunter. Vigas on that Tiny. And AL's God is going to be playing the Templar Assassin. On the Dara side, Grumpy is going to be playing the Enchantress. Nose on the Brewmaster. Where is everyone else? There they are. Savadoom is going to be playing that Rubik. On the top lane, it's going to be Hawkeye's Windrunner, which, of course, I don't have to say is extremely badass. Nowhere is what? No, okay, nowhere. His head is nowhere to be found. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I won't do that again. Actually, I will do that again. Fuck you. But Hawkeye, just the fact that someone whose name is Hawkeye is playing an Archer character makes me happy. I always thought Hawkeye was kind of a gimmicky hero. I mean, there's nothing really special. I don't think there's anything special about him. I haven't really looked into Hawkeye all that much as a superhero. But as far as I can tell, he's just a good archer. And good archers are in the Olympics. So, yeah, I don't know about Hawkeye as a hero. It's pretty good in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I hear. But I actually don't know about that either. Hawkeye gonna run straight into Mania, and these guys are just popping off flares. Little red X's. I actually don't know what those are, or what those are supposed to be, or... I mean, like, they're definitely bugged particles in some way. But maybe it's the water splashing? Yeah, I think it is the water, unless it continues to follow them. Yeah, it's definitely the water. So my skills of deduction are impeccable this game. So in the bot lane, it's going to be a solo lane Tidehunter for AL, and Tidehunter's not going to have a fun time. Actually, it really depends how much pressure Grumpy puts onto this lane. Tidehunter versus Brewmaster is a fairly even lane. Tidehunter usually does pretty well against melee heroes. And God, already getting telekinesis back and a spin. That's going to shred him down. Refraction, no refraction. One more hit from Nowhere. He's going to get a very, very early first blood on the TA. Exactly what Nowhere wanted. TA is going to teleport right back, but Juggernaut's already salved up. Mania going to close the gap on Savadoom. Yeah, the red things are definitely the water splash marks, which is going to be really freaking annoying. Hopefully nothing happens in the river. But as I was saying before that first blood happened, Tidehunter usually has a decent time against other melee heroes because of that anchor smash, but now he can be a little bit of trouble in Troll Trap. Fly out, Nose does have a clap in 3 seconds. Freezer gonna run the opposite way. The jukes are strong with this one, and that actually ended up saving his life. Very well played, and of course on the top lane, I missed that one because I was watching something else, guys. There was something else that was important, and that's why I missed it. God. I'm just playing. I'm sure no one cares, because you can imagine what happened. Vigas got close enough for an avalanche, and then a toss, and then Wisp did tether, stun, and spirits, and then all that messiness. So it is 1 kill to 1 kill. Dara, of course, with the first blood on the most important hero to get a first blood on, the Juggernaut. Now, Rubik Juggernaut is a really good lane. Oh no, Freezer, what are you doing again? Run. Run. Nose does have a clap. Oh, he leveled it up. That means he doesn't have enough mana for it. Grumpy trying to get in the way, I guess. Body block. Spears. Spears to the back. See, if Nose just kept that clap at level 1, he would have been fine. But it looks like he's going to get it anyway. The Centaur did get close enough for a stomp. And Centaur, or Brewmaster, I'm sorry, does pick up that kill. We're off to a very fast-paced start in this game. Kills all over the map, all 3 of the lanes. They are getting the slight upper hand because they got the first blood on the Juggernaut, no less. And then, of course, they did get that 1 additional kill after. And I am so excited to see these red X's for the rest of my game. But Anchor Smash usually does manage melee heroes pretty decently, but when the Enchantress is putting creeps forward like this, just doing so much harassment, Freezer is going to have a little bit of a tough time. He's gonna have a much better time than he normally would, though. Like when there's a Venomancer right here and he's constantly pushing the Tidehunter back. The Tidehunter is used to not getting much. Really what he needs to do is try to get as much experience as he can. Just enough to get that level 6. Once he gets that, then mission accomplished. You have successfully offlaned the Tidehunter. Of course, sometimes that does take a very long time. In this game, shouldn't be all that long. And I know that if something happens, it's going to be in this mid lane because of the amount of kill potential on both the teams. But I really kind of want to look away because of all these red X's. It's really annoying. Oh god, no. Put it away, please. Damn it, Valve. Get your particles together. Looks like Grumpy is going to move on to this mid lane. He doesn't have anything to help except for an enchant slow. Double split earth. Going to deny them any opportunity of getting anything done. Sentry Ward does drop. And God doesn't even have any melds, so he's not going to care. At least not yet. Hawkeye in the top lane 2-0 versus Tidehunters 8-2. So Vigos and Come With Me shutting down the Windrunner a little bit harder than Nose and Grumpy. Kind of what you would expect, though. Tiny's a lot of burst damage, and Brewmaster, his burst damage is alright too, but he can't exactly 100 to 0 you with 240 mana. Stop. Oh, mid lane, if you guys just step back, like you guys sit over here and you guys sit over here, then I don't have to watch these X's. So annoying. Grumpy is going to get converged upon Mania, going to land a perfect split Earth. Edict as well. The Ursa Warrior is there to tank up a little bit of damage though, but the Anchor Smash is level 2. That will bring down the Enchantress. Mania was constantly roaming, actually. He's been moving around the map quite a bit. He's first at the top lane, then slid down mid for a little bit. Now he dipped down to the bot lane. Oh god, if he gets pulled up to the high ground, no, it's a little bit out of range. So Mania's being very active along the map. Only has 1 assist, and that's the one that he really just got. But still, just constantly pressuring the map. And it doesn't really form any huge advantage, but it's something noticeable, slightly noticeable. Savadoom, 1 more hit, is going to take him down. Fade Bolt's trying to buy himself a little more life, but got at the haste rune. Unable to escape that. The Rubik didn't have a chance in the bot lane, nowhere. Going to take a couple spirits to the back. Vigos is going to get a long range avalanche. Toss as well. Hawkeye's going to drop to the floor. Legs broken. Windrunner couldn't crawl back to the base, and she did die. Come With Me and Vigos in a little bit of an odd position now, but they're going to have creeps pushing in, so they will be able to just walk on out of there, unless they're going to walk on out of there in a different fashion. So AL picking a couple more kills, first on the Enchantress, then on the Windrunner again. So Hawkeye's not having the best time of his life. And really, Wisp and Tiny can do this all day. Arcane Boots on the Tiny gives him a huge mana pool. Mana regeneration is nice, but really in the early stage, what you really want is more mana pool, because they're just going to go straight in again for Hawkeye, tossing up into the air, crushing him on the way down. Vigos hitting level 6 with that, and, well, Hawkeye, I think it's best if you abandon ship, buddy. Just farm these, or, you know, slowly farm the Ancients. You'll get a lot more, and you'll feed Tiny a lot less experience, a lot less gold. Tiny's 3-0. 600 gold plus Arcane Boots at 6 minutes in is pretty insane from him. So now let's see what build Tiny wants to go. When Tinys do go for the hard... Oh, spin from nowhere. Going to go straight after God. There is a Sentry Ward, so he cannot meld out of this unless he's out of range now. Yes, now he can meld out of this. Looks like they're going to fall back. Split Earth on the Savadoom, do a little bit of damage. God, not yet level 6, so he can't get any sign. Traps off, but still the huge right clicks. Going to pressure back the Rubik just a little bit, but it won't actually be enough to get a kill anywhere. Tiny is usually, when you see a Tiny in these pro games, usually played as the hard carrier. Of course, when he's getting all this farm, he could really do whatever the hell he wants, like punch down the Windrunner for like the millionth time. Oh no, Tiny. Oh, beautiful play by Come With Me. Beautiful and subtle. But Vigos, if you get hit by this freaking creep, okay, good. But Come With Me drawing the aggro, or yeah, taking the aggro from the tower so that Vigos could live. So Vigos and Come With Me working together very, very well. Level 6 on the Tiny, 4 kills on the Windrunner. The Windrunner at this point is just walking up there and dying, and you don't really want to be doing that because, well, Tiny is going to scale into the late game something fierce. Grumpy's going to take a Sonic Trap. Looks like they want to go for this. Yes, Ravage is up on Tidehunter, but the spin from nowhere doing a lot of damage. Is the Juggernaut level 6? No, he is not. Mania has popped off the Edict, so he is out of mana. They could fight this. They still do have a Ravage. The problem for them is Nose is circling around the bend. He does have a split. So AL, they might be a little bit out of position right now. Nose is going to take a little bit of damage, but he's going to clap and split. Probably going to go for God. No, he's actually going to go for Freezer. Doesn't want to deal with that Ravage and Freezer. Don't think he has an escape from this. Just the constant chasing of the Pandas will be enough to do him in. Relocate, though, might save him. Come with me, gonna tether. Oh, the tether breaks. That's unfortunate. Here comes Vigas, gonna get an avalanche toss combo. No, just one and then the other. But just tossed Savadoom right into a fade bolt. Savadoom's gonna drop, but that was like the most ridiculous play I've ever seen in my life. Nose trying to juke out Vigas just a little bit, but Mania's still here with the Edict up. Level 3 on that. The heal pops off from Grumpy, and Nose gonna stand and fight against Mania. Tossing the Leshrac forward. Vigas, stop tossing your allies. It's not working out. Avalanche plus a right click will eventually do in that Brewmaster, but God has returned to the fight and gonna go for Grumpy, who really never left. Vigas doesn't even need to help God with that one. And Dara just bleeding heroes. Tiny so big right now. And tossing nowhere into the tower, into a tether stun. Just punch him, man. Punch him. Juggernaut actually dying to creeps. That was actually a beautiful toss from Vigas. Tossing him right into the tether. How often do you see that? So 10-3, and with 7 of those kills being with Tiny, you can get a Blink Dagger really quickly if he wants to. And maybe now I could finally make the point that I was trying to make about Tiny, is that they usually get phase boots plus a drum, go for a mass movement speed build. Looks like Savadoom is going to take an avalanche, going to take a toss with a Wisp grenade. Wisp! No Wisp! Oh, he's going to drop, and Vigas now, without his shiny friend, is going to take out his rage on this random melee creep. Oh, Grumpy trying to deny it. There you go. But since he went for Arcane Boots, he could possibly be going for an early pressure build. And if he is, it's working. I mean, 5:03, 9 minutes in. That's okay, I guess. Let's see, he's going to go straight for the Aghanim Scepter, so he's not going to go for a drum or... Oh, Mania. A little bit out of position there. I don't know. Oh, he's trying to suicide on the tower, which does get denied. Tiny is going to go for the Aghanim Scepter, scale up into the late game as much as he can. I mean, when you're Tiny, you could either choose to use all the farm and all the gold that you're getting to, you know, capitalize into the late game, or just capitalize into the mid game. Capitalizing into the mid game makes you a lot more powerful then, but the late game is more of an investment. And they do have the Wisp with that relocate, who is now in the mid lane. So that overcharge is going to help that tree do a lot more damage. Vigas and God gotta be careful though, as everyone from Dare is converging onto their position. Telekinesis from TA is going to bring her back to tower range. Nowhere is going to start with spinning. Nose is going to get the slow onto God. Going to try to meld out of this, but I don't feel good about his chances, as Hawkeye's power shot does take out the TA. Vigas does make it out alive, and he does have enough mana for an avalanche toss combo. If you can catch out one of the softer support heroes, he can take them out. Even Juggernaut, if he manages to, get the avalanche on him before the spin happens. Vigas taking a lot of damage from creeps. Actually, you got to get out of there, man. But 6-11 AL. I do feel like the AL squad have a little bit more of a better late game. They have the TA, who admittedly isn't getting that much compared to their Tiny, but hey, they have both of the heroes. The giant meld hits, plus the tree, which is eventually going to be coming down on the Darius side. It's going to hurt a lot. And Juggernaut, as a carry, he could dish out the damage like nobody's business. But at the same time, he's very fragile. You can go for a Vanguard or something, but usually Battle Fury or Mad Style or Shadow Blade are the core items, and those items don't give you a lot of health. Teleportation on the top lane is going to be Freezer with a Ravage. Too late though, as Mania is already down. Freezer going to look for a Ravage, but shackled to a creep. He's going to now take a lot of damage. Relocate coming in. Vigas very low HP. There's the Ravage plus an Avalanche, instantly going to bring down the Windrunner yet again. Vigas has it out for the Windrunner, tossing Grumpy back onto Savadoom, who's still very, very weak. Come with me, trying to do as much damage as he can. Spirits, unfortunately, not landing on him. Vigas stuck in a corner. He's going to go down. Savadoom does teleport out of here. Teleportation coming in is going to be Tiny once again. God is revealed. He's got to realize that. Avalanche get hit onto Nose, tossing him up as well. That's going to bring down the Brewmaster with the spill damage from the Sonic Blaze. Now nowhere on the run. You can't run away from a tether though. Grumpy trying to get out of here. Is there a stun? No, there. Oh my God, don't need a stun. Tiny with the huge fist hit plus God's meld hit. Bring down the Enchantress in the span of like 2 seconds. And with that, AL, I mean, it looked a little bit rough for them, but they just waited for that primal split to time out. And they just wrecked the faces of Dare. Oh, Vigas ain't done yet. He wants Hawkeye again. Hawkeye, I think, has learned. I hope he's learned. He died 5 times to this Tiny. You would think he would have learned by now. But AL, they successfully defend the Ravage. I mean, he held it as long as he could, and that's... He really needed to. He didn't really have a good opportunity. First because of the split, then because of the, what do you call it? The Juggernaut spin? Yeah, you couldn't do that. Oh, Savadoom, that's not where you want to be. He's going to take a gush, and unfortunately, what he just got teleported to him, or brought to him, was not a Force Staff, so he was stuck up there, and he's going to die. Mania with the biggest whiff of Split Earth I've ever seen, but God is tethered up, going to get a stun to Grumpy, and tossing Mania onto him. Leshrac with the Edict damage in mid-air, picking up the Enchantress. I've never seen that before, but that's pretty freaking cool. Now Nose is on the run. Wow, this AL squad is like, you can't stop them. It's just like a giant truck that's just going to keep hunting you down. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because, you know, these guys are roaming as 5, and they're going to mess your shit up. Even Tiny's just tossing people all over the place. Enemies, allies, he doesn't give a crap. He's 817. He almost has his Aghanim Scepter. Does he have his Aghanim Scepter? Don't know, so he probably doesn't. 3 onto this bot lane, but I don't know. AL, they're constantly pouring on the pressure. You can try to do what you want, but in the end, if you get God, if you get the Tiny on top of you, come with me, you can take an Omni Slash. That's not going to bring him down. He's going to eventually drop. Toss from the Freezer's going to get spun down with the Fade Ball flying through as well. God also trying to suicide into the tower yet again, but it gets denied. Mania trying to hold his ground versus Nowhere. Does get the Split Earth off. He does have an Edict, but he's going to get shot in the ass with a power shot. The only one to live from that was Tiny, who teleported back out of there. But AL, they suicided for the tower yet again, and it did get denied yet again. So even though they're getting a lot of kills, they're, I believe, in ahead as far as the last hits go. And the gold advantage isn't as much as it really should be because of all those denies. And I completely missed that. A relocate gank onto the Juggernaut. Avalanche toss, easy peasy. 3 mid. They're going to look for the first tower. This tower is very healthy though, and AL, they're very, very alive. They're going to try to defend this. Sonic Trap is going to pop off onto the Brewmaster. Does have his split up, so he could turn around and fight. Though he really probably would not like to do this, since if he does turn and fight, it's not going to be the best for him. God going to blink forward, forcing out that Primal Split. Now, who's he going to go for? He's going to get a rock on to come with me. Probably going to, yeah, he's going to go for the Wisp. A little bit stuck, but he's going to find his way out of there. Primal Split, he's going to time out soon. There's the Ravage onto 3. But unfortunately, there's no follow-up. There is another Ravage stolen by Savadoom. Everyone from AL stunned. Now Vigas is in the air. Freezer going to get spun down by Nowhere. And God, I mean, he has to be doing some more right-click damage. Nowhere is going to get slowed down. Edict damage in the air is going to bring him down. Shackling Vigas to a tree, slowing him down. Grumpy, though, taking Split Earth. And he's going to drop as well. Vigas on the hunt from Hawkeye. Where's the Avalanche? There's the Avalanche. Toss. Toss him back. Toss him back towards God. Meld hit. Not exactly what I wanted to see, but still, he got the kill. 23-14. AL, they're just pouring on the aggressiveness. 15 minutes in with this many kills, that you don't see that every day. And even though they are pouring on so much aggressiveness, I mean, they don't necessarily have to be. They could wait all day. They could scale into the late game perfectly fine. Grumpy can take a huge amount of damage, and he's going to drop to a Wisp Spirit. Nose still on the front lines, doesn't have that Primal Split anymore, and Relocate is going to bring the Wisp and Tiny back to the base for a full health trip. There, they are going to surround them perfectly. They might be in a little bit of trouble, but they're going to be at full health. If Nowhere gets caught by an Avalanche, he's going to die. There's the Avalanche completely whiffing. Come with me is going to get telekinesis up into the air, but the 2-man Split Earth is going to bring down 1. And the Juggernaut now knows is in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to run away, but Vigas right on his ass. Blink Forward from God is going to bring down the Brewmaster. Savadoom now in trouble. Sonic Trap is going to latch, and huge toss plus a melt hit. What the hell? Everyone's bouncing up everywhere. God does get a triple kill, wants to make it a quad kill. Hawkeye's going to take a couple spirits, and there's the ultra kill. He's going to go for a rampage. Oh, God, you disappoint me. Enchantress cleaning up the rest of AL's heroes. AL, they're diving really, really aggressively, and I feel like they are getting the upper hand and everything, but they always end up dying. They could be just falling back and picking up Roshan. They do have the overcharge. What overcharge? Level 4 overcharge. Those Tiny's going to be hitting very, very quickly. Plus this TA with the minus armor, plus Tidehunter with minus armor, plus Edict. They can bring down Roshan anytime they want, but instead they want the kills. They want to kind of demoralize Terror into a victory. Because when you die this many times, you really don't feel like playing anymore. Split Earth is going to land on Savadoom, taking Gush as well, plus an Anchor Smash. Savadoom is going to go down immediately. Mania still taking a lot of damage from Nose. Nowhere has teleported in, going to spin 1 down. Freezer going to teleport away, unsuccessfully though, as Brewmaster with the right clicks does pick that up. And AL, well, they didn't take this tower, but they still dived suicidally on it. And they saw teleportations coming in, but they decided to stay and fight. They might be suffering from a little bit of overconfidence right now. But TA, I mean, she's stacked. Vigas almost does have... Oh, the Tether? No, Tether actually broke in midair. Come with me, looking for some way to disable this Juggernaut. It's not going to happen, though. Juggernaut could have just Omni-Slashed the Wisp. But there he goes, leaving Vigas to his own devices. Run away! Hawkeye looking for a Shackle. No angle yet. Avalanche, not going to happen as the Shackle also doesn't happen. Vegas still on the run, nowhere, trying to close the gap with the Omni Slash. No, tossing the Juggernaut all the way back to Hawkeye. Nose does get that clap off, so Vegas going to take a lot of damage. Does have 3 points of craggy exterior, though. The Split Earth does land onto Nose, now taking a huge amount of damage. Split just in time before he dies. I don't think he can actually do anything with this, though, because he doesn't have any support. He's going to get a stun to come with me, try to do as much damage as he can. But this Split is quickly timing out. And I don't think he's going to get a kill. It's going to be very close if he does. And even so, it probably won't be worth it. There goes the Fire Spirit. There goes the Storm Spirit. Now the Earth Spirit is the only one that's left. He's going to reincarnate right in front of a Tidehunter. In the meantime, Vegas going 1v2. God can help him out a little bit. The Wisp Grenade plus a Tether is going to get yet another toss kill. Enchantress in the back end, picking off Tiny with 1 hit. Freezer does have a Tether on him. Going to get a Gush from long range. Spirit's all going to hit as well. Anchor Smash, Split Earth. And now Grumpy is going to drop like a rock. AL 20 to 32. Regeneration Rune. Of course there's a Regeneration Rune for them. Vegas buying back instantly, and I don't think Dara have buybacks. So AL have quite a bit of time to push something. Might be that Roshan objective. Did the Courier get changed? I know it's like the Krub Death Prophet announcer. Like in whatever it's called, Direween. Dire Knight. I don't even know what it's called. But I didn't realize it changed like for the whole game. I actually haven't played since the Dire thing came out. I've been farming candies, guys. Not candies. Actually kind of candies. Farming essences. I still haven't gotten enough to make a good Greevil egg. And I have a Greevil egg, so I'm gonna frickin' fill it up. So I haven't really been playing all that much. Vegas on the top lane does pick up the tower by himself and gonna make his way out successfully. TA with the second life. And AL, they just want to keep going. Ravage is up on the Tidehunter. He's had the mech for quite a long time. Enchantress, who has the mech here? No one has the mech, and Window is trying to go for it. But it's very, very slow in comparison to everyone else on AL squad relocating. Who's gonna come in? So that was a relocate out. Freezer's going to take a little bit of damage from Savadoom, just harassment though. Toss is up on Rubik. And a toss on the Brewmaster could do a lot of work, but here comes Vegas with the big stick. He's going to land an avalanche plus a toss onto Nose. Ravage is going to bounce him up into the air once again. There goes the Brewmaster. Yes, there he goes. Freezer on the front line is going to try to get a slowdown on Savadoom, but nowhere. He can teleport right into a Split Earth. No follow-up from this. God going to breach the high ground. Going to try to get a meld hit. Unsuccessful though. Shackling God to Freezer. But it doesn't matter because Vegas is the one who's the real threat right now. With the big tree going to land a huge hit onto Rubik. Now he's going to go straight for nowhere. Power Shot going to weaken Mania a whole lot, but he's still alive. 280 HP on him. Hawkeye getting tossed up into the air, and the Split Earth does land. There goes the Windrunner once again. Nose finally with Split off cooldown. He's going to try to go for this Tidehunter. It looked like no, he's going to instead go for Mania. He's going to save Grumpy with that rock. Mania does drop. Freezer come with me very low, but Vegas kind of low as well, but he's very tanky. Full Omni Slash onto the Tiny will bring him down. Nowhere getting a double kill. And now come with me and Freezer. They got to walk out of here or else they risk losing their lives. The towers still stand, and God, I don't know what the hell. Oh, he died and lost the Aegis, and then he got spun down. But nowhere getting yet another kill. Does have phase boots up, and he's going to go for Freezer. I don't think he could actually do this. Yeah, they're going to fall back. Come with me and Freezer. They seem to want to keep fighting. Maybe they get Enchantress, maybe? She's very tanky. She's put a lot into stats. Freezer's going to try to kite around with the Spirits plus Anchor Smash. Do a lot of damage there. They might be a little bit over-aggressive here. Here comes Mania once again. The Tether going to stun pretty much everyone. Come with me. Get unleash him more Spirits before he dies. Going to try to do as much before. Oh, relocating himself out with Freezer. Kind of leaving Mania to his own devices. And now he's going to die. And now the Wisp and the Tidehunter are probably going to die. Best of luck, Wisp. And Tidehunter. Does he have Ravage? No, he doesn't. He's going to go straight for Savadoom. Does pick off that Rubik. But now I'm pretty sure they're both going to be left for dead. Shackled to a tree. Oh my god, he got the Enchantress in the back end. The Enchantress stuck around way too long. Freezer still trying to do a 1v3. Anchor Smash going to weaken everyone. But it looks like he's going to go down. Unless he gets one more Anchor Smash onto nowhere. Oh, he will get it. The Gush will pick up that kill. Anchor Smash knows. Do it. Freezer, you versus the world. Oh, it's not going to happen. But here comes an invisible Tiny. And Hawkeye, you know how this goes. Oh, she lived this time. Teleport out. Is gonna make it in time. And Vegas, unfortunately for him, for like the first time ever this game, denied that kill on the Windrunner. Windrunner at this point is tanky enough. Power treads, man. They give you some good HP, plus level 11. And Vegas, I mean, his Grow is gonna increase his damage a little bit more, his toss damage. But really, at this point, it's all about the tree. He does have that Wisp with him. The tree is going to land very, very quickly. Is this going to be an Aghanim Scepter? What? I didn't know Wisp had an Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't, right? What's going on? I have no idea what's happening. Wisp, come with me. Why are you confusing me so? Looks like AL, they still want to go for this bot lane. And I think they have enough Sentry Ward coverage. Oh, Grumpy actually timing it perfectly. Enchantress note, he went for a full-on damage build. He knows that Nowhere is able to do the damage, but he's not really fragile. He's very fragile, so he won't be able to do sustained damage. So Enchantress is going to be going into that route, only picking up 1 point of enchant for that very low level possessing of a creep. God on the run, going to take a clap, going to take some tether support, and Freezer getting tossed in for a 2-man Ravage. There goes Savadoom, knows is going to get the split off just in time, but there's not much follow-up here. Once again, Power Shot's going to fly through, and, well, they're just turning on the spirits. God in the air, spinning around. Nowhere Hawkeye and Grumpy still alive, but they can't really get into this fight. Looks like the Brewmaster might even die, as Grumpy is already dead. I'm just watching the Brewmaster. The Brewmaster, does he die? No, he goes back to his Storm aspect. But it doesn't matter, because all of his allies die within that, because there's simply not enough follow-up. Without the Juggernaut, you just had a couple of soft heroes in the back trying to do what they can. But unfortunately, it was not enough. Using the Tiny for those grenades, both the Wisp grenade and the Tidehunter grenade, it's going to get them the bottom racks, and I do believe the game there at this point. I mean, they've been running on flat damage this entire time. Their scaling has been minimal. Juggernaut's going for a Battle Fury, but really, when he's the most farmed hero in your team, and he doesn't even have a Battle Fury at 24 minutes in, then you know you're in a little bit of trouble. And Vigas, he does have the Aghanim Scepter. TA with a Desolator, and come with me even with an Aghanim Scepter. I don't know. But the mid-raxes are going to fall. The bottom raxes have already fallen. And Dare, I don't think their flat values carry them through. God can take a pipe, but telekinesis into the air. Leshrac does pick up the Rubik before anything can happen. And Dare, they simply don't have enough lockdown. Freezer going to get thrown onto Grumpy. The huge tree hit. Nose going to blink right in. Takes a Gush or an Avalanche. 2-man Avalanche. But Vigas is shackled to a tree, or a creep. Onslash is going to go through, but God is still in the front lines, killing everyone. Somehow Come With Me does live with like 50 HP. Knows he's still on the run, but he's going to take a creep to the face. Power Shots, still not killing anyone. There's the GG, guys. Dare versus AL. In Starseries Season 3. This one does go to AL. It's a super turbo aggressive game. When you pick up a Tiny who's not going to be farming for a carry role, you kind of got to be aggressive. That's what you're going to do. But at the same time, Tiny got force-fed a ton of kills from Hawkeye, who just kept on going to that lane. I don't really... Oh, no, Mania. No, he's dead. He just kept on going back into the lane for really nothing. He didn't get anything for it. Oh, the tree hit is so vicious. So AL just got slowly fed, a kill here, a kill there. And then at a certain point, they were powerful enough with the Tiny burst damage plus the early game TA damage to just go to town on Dare constantly. Like, Dare didn't have a shot at all. But I like the part where they got kills here, and then they went down here, and then they just got more kills here. That was my favorite part, really. It's like, what do you do against that? They have a Tiny who seemingly is invulnerable. They have a ton of burst damage, and you cannot stop them unless you have all 5 of your heroes here. But you can't have all 5 of your heroes there because half your heroes are dead. So really, AL playing super aggressive style does work out for them, and that's going to be the game, guys. Thanks for watching. I guess now only 2 more until we have the new patch, which couldn't have come soon enough. That's going to be it for me, guys. GG.